it is from. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, we have to record the call for just for those who may miss the session. So I'm really excited to meet you all today. I think this is our first formal live session we're having with you all. And it's been a beautiful 1 year since ScholarWaka was launched, and it's been years of we trying to ensure that we have direction, and we are also able to put so much into what you guys would need or what you guys want to see or hear from us. So briefly, I'm going to share my story about how ScholarWaka came about. Many of you may have heard about ScholarWaka and how we came about, but that's not why we are here today. Main reason why we're here today is that we want to share with you guys info about how you can leverage on opportunities about scholarships. So it worked for me. It worked for so many other people that you'll be meeting in this call today. So I thought that it would be great for us to have this session. So all I'm going to ask you guys is for you to be very interactive. I hope you are here prepared with your questions. Our speakers will be here to, they are ready for you all. So please come ready and um, have your questions ready as well, because we're really excited to hear from you what you think and how best we can support you. Can you please go a little bit back, one slide back, please? Yeah. So I just want to quickly talk you through very briefly why we exist and how we came about ScholarWaka. And even when you see me, wherever you see me, whether on YouTube or my different social media accounts or social media pages. So what I want to start with is when people see me, first of all, what they say is that, oh, you are a content creator. And I'm like, yeah, you can tag me a content creator because you see me on your FYP, right? I just pop out on your DM or on your FYP, or you see me on YouTube. So you think that I am one of those regular content creator. But what I do here is what I do out of passion and out of experience. It's something that I journeyed on for over 3 years. And even after I won my scholarship, the desire for me to share my experience with every other person was just there. And that was how I came on the internet to support people like you who also want to learn how this opportunity works. So I'm really, really excited to finally meet you all today. This workshop has been a long time coming. Like, it's something that I have been planning for a very long time. I'm so happy that today we finally got to meet through this workshop. So ScholarWaka, like I said, was not born out of vibe or out of trend. It was born out of pain, persistence, purpose, dream, and ambition. That was how ScholarWaka came about. If you have not read my story, it's on ScholarWaka, but I'll just say go there to read more about how I had this experience for applying for different scholarships. But what I can say in summary is that I spent over 3 years applying for scholarships. It was 3 years of pains. Trust me, 3 years of me not sleeping. There were nights where at 1 a.m. I'm awake trying to write personal statements, trying to write essays, years of debt. Trust me, I also, I had to borrow money at some point to pay application fees, to pay for some tests. So it was years of rejections, of tears, of pains, and also of hope, still choosing and believing that the journey I am currently going through at that time was definitely going to change. So I didn't give up at that time. So knowing that I came from a very low income family, I knew that I needed to change the narrative for myself. Actually, where I came from, young girls like myself just believe that once you are done with school, the next thing for is for you to get married and you move on with life. But I believe that there's something more than that for us. And there's also a reason why I pursued engineering, which is a career in STEM, because I really wanted to change the narrative for myself and for those around me. So having done school, I was done with my BSc. What was the next step? How do I make this dream come true? Coming from a place like Nigeria, where if you don't know who, it's almost impossible for you to get somewhere. So I knew that I needed to find my way, find my path. And that was how I had to put my everything into applying for scholarships. To cut long story short, I applied for several scholarships in 3 years. And just why I had given up in 2021, it was end of July. I was like, okay, this year is gone already. No scholarships. Although I got partial scholarship, but I needed fully funded because there was no way I can fund if it is not fully funded. So I was like, oh, you know what? Let me just move on, and 2022 we go again. And that was how, just towards the end of 2020, July 2021, I got that email that came to say congratulations. I couldn't cry. I couldn't shout. I just told my friend, no, well, just hold this phone. Let me just go and come back. I don't know what I'm saying. So do you mean this is how I'm going to move to the UK for free through scholarship? So finally, this paid off. So after I got my scholarship, I came to the UK to study. My family also came along with me as well. And I was done with school. And then I realized that the desire for me to still share the knowledge was still there. So I started teaching my siblings and my relations how to apply for scholarships, but they don't have the interest. I was like, how do I have this knowledge and no one is benefiting from it? And that was how October 2024, which is like my birthday in 2024, I launched my YouTube channel. I was like, okay, since I know this experience, let me share with other people. And fast forward to January last year, we launched ScholarWaka. So ScholarWaka was born out of experience, out of my life experience. And I also forgot to mention that while I was working in Nigeria, building my career, I had worked with a nonprofit called Wow Foundation. And there, I also worked for 4 years as a scholarship program manager. So when you see me, know that you are seeing someone that have gone through the practical experience and also the professional experience about what do scholarship committee look for before they will give you the scholarship. So it is all born from passion, from purpose, and from experience. So today, I'm really excited to share with you guys my story life, and also for you to also hear from my other friends who have also gone through this part, how they did it, what they did, and so that you also know that if we could go through this part and we can win the scholarship, then you too can do that. Nobody's dream should be limited because you came from whatever background you came from, whether you are from a rich or poor background. Scholarship is meant for everyone, and you can get it if you commit your time. And I also want to say is that scholarship journey is not easy. It is not easy. That is just the fact. It's going to take a lot from you. But if you're able to put in that time into applying for scholarships, trust me, it is going to definitely worth your time. So I just want to say thank you so much again for staying on the call with us. So please do help us to engage, ask your questions. The comment is open for you guys to ask questions. Ask your questions for us, and we're very happy to hear from you. Yeah, I hope this little bit about me was helpful, and I'm really looking forward to connecting with you all in any way we can connect after the workshop. Or do drop your comments, your questions in the comment section or in the chat, and we'll definitely pick them up and respond to you. Another thing I'm also going to say is when we have our speakers up, please also do well to have your questions on ground, have them written either on the chat or write them on ground so that once it's time for you to speak to them, you'll be able to connect and speak to them. Okay. Please react. Let's see your emojis in the comments, and let's see what let us be sure that we are speaking and you are all also with us. So please, can you get to the next slide, please? All right. So I have said a little bit about ScholarWaka. And of course, for you to be here, it means that you already know about ScholarWaka. So we are a newborn baby. We are just 1 year old child that is trying to walk and find their path, right? So the last 1 year has been us trying to know how to sit, know how to crawl, and now we are gradually standing. And that's even why we are, hosting this our first webinar today. So we are a trusted and comprehensive platform, and our goal in ScholarWaka is that we provide you guys updates about opportunities that you can apply for across the world. So there are companies, individuals, government of different countries who wants to spend their money on you. They are willing to give you their money for free. So what we do is we find these opportunities for you, we simplify them on our website, and we'll share them with you for you to come and apply. That's it about ScholarWaka website. And I know that you guys have seen how beautiful the website looks like. Of course, we're going to go over it on this call. You have seen how beautiful our website looks like. And also, I guess you guys must have applied for one or two scholarships as well on our website. Next slide, please. Yeah, for ScholarWaka, our goal is very simple. The reason why we exist is simple. It, like I said, it existed. Our vision or mission came about out of passion, out of love, and out of the goal for us to impact or to ensure that we give hope to those who do not have hope that they can move abroad for free. So what we do here is, regardless of your financial background, wherever you are coming from, you deserve to dream, and you deserve to also get opportunities for you to study in your dream country, study your dream course, and even move to your dream country for free. And these are truly true fully funded opportunities. So what we do is we share this information with you for you to assess them, for you to know about them. And we also even have other means on how we support you to ensure that you are able to utilize the information we have on our website and for you to run with them. Everything we have on our website are very simplified. So our goal is just come, see these opportunities, and run with them and apply for these opportunities. So that's simply our goal as ScholarWaka. So everybody dreams deserve to be alive. And of course, it will be great that you always explore our website to see what you can apply for any day, anytime. Opportunities for bachelor's degree, for master's degree, and for PhD. Next slide, please. And yeah, about the workshop, like I said, or like Peace introduced earlier, it's a 2 days free workshop where we have amazing speakers who will be coming here to share with you guys what they know and how they did, and also how they applied for their scholarship. The good thing about this workshop for me is the fact that we were able to invite persons who have gone through this process. Of course, you have seen a lot of my face. You have seen enough of my face, enough of my advice, enough of my talk. So now come and hear from people who have done this by themselves. And if you are lucky as well, there might also be people that are also in your area of field, area of expertise. And after this call, you can, decide to also connect with them to ask them further questions. So just to be clear, this workshop is fully on awareness focus only. We are not going to dive deep into the actual how to. For instance, if I say this is what you need to do to apply for scholarship, I will not go deep into telling you, oh, this is how you actually know how to do it. So just for the sake of awareness and for insight purpose, that's why we have this workshop. And if at any point you want to know how best to approach this topics we're talking about, you can then have further conversations after the workshop. But just for you to know that it is basically focused on awareness purpose only. And our speakers who will be coming to share their thoughts as well will share with you how much they have done. And if they want to deep dive into what they have done, and if we have the time, they will talk about that. And majorly as well is, what do you need to do, and how do you find these opportunities? That is just one of the major things you're going to get from this workshop. And I hope you guys are super excited. Can I see some emojis in the comment? Let me be sure that you guys are here with me and I'm not just talking to myself. So just react. Let's see something about you popping up in the comment. And also, as we are talking, let us know in the comment where you are streaming from, your name, and the country you are joining us from. We'd like to also know where you're joining us from. Next slide, please. Thank you so much, Joel from Cameroon. I can see you guys. I can see your chat popping in, and yeah, thank you so much. So meet our amazing speakers. Meet these amazing ladies who have gone through applying for rigorous scholarships. I've talked about mine already, so I didn't want to, add my face to this poster. But these are the people that we have put together for you guys to hear from today and tomorrow. So today we'll be meeting Sole. Sole is one lady that has stories resonate so much with mine. She also came from a very low income background or income family in Nigeria, but she had to figure out how to move abroad for free. I read her story on Instagram and she was saying that she didn't have anything, but she had to figure out a way to just find opportunity for herself, and that's how she got scholarship to the UK. In fact, she won 2 scholarships, one to the UK and one to I think she got the GSK scholarship, which is the South Korea GKS scholarship, which is the South Korea scholarship. So if Soles can do that, why not? You too can do it. And Deborah is my very good friend. We all won the Commonwealth Scholarship in 2021, and she currently just got a new scholarship for her PhD. She's very, very experienced when it comes to applying for scholarship, and I'm so happy that she'll be here as well to share with us what she has done and how she's able to find those opportunities that people are looking for. She's going to share her secret with us today. And for Arike is very, very, very good when it comes to scholarships in Europe. So if you know that you are looking for scholarship in Europe and especially in Italy, Arike is a to-go person. I've watched her videos a lot on Instagram and she's very, very good about scholarship in Italy. So she's only going to hear from her tomorrow. Arike will be joining us tomorrow to talk to us about scholarship and her journey. So please stick around. Also join us tomorrow for you to hear from Arike. And Benedicta, she's my very good friend from way back. We began like since we're applying for scholarship since like 2017 was when I knew Benedicta and we were on the journey together. So one thing I will also advise you guys is as you are applying for scholarship, as you are looking for scholarship, please do well to ensure that you also get a partner that you're going to journey with. It was very helpful for me when I had Benedicta by my side because at the times when I was discouraged, I was tired of the process, I always call her to say, babe, how is it going for you? Can you help me review my applications? Can you help me this? Can you help me that? In fact, we were like strength to each other during the application journey. So it would be good as well that as you're applying for scholarship, if you find someone that has same like mind like you, please connect with them. And you guys should, journey the journey together. It's definitely going to help you as you apply for different scholarships. Okay, next slide, please. And yeah, it's just a quick overview about what we are doing today and tomorrow. Today's call is more about understanding how scholarship works and finding the opportunities for you to apply for scholarships. And so let's and Deborah will be talking to us today. And then tomorrow is all about application strategies, preparation, and for you to build your portfolio as you apply for different scholarships. So all I will say is we have put together a very good outline for you guys, which our speakers will be coming here to share their ideas and their thoughts with you guys. So stick around, and like I said, have your pen and your paper ready to get to ask us your questions. Okay, yeah. Next slide, please. You can be dropping your comment. You can, as I walk through applications, please drop your questions in the comments and we are going to pick that up for you. And at the end of the session, we're going to have like 5 minutes for anyone who wants to speak or ask the question live. So if you have any question you would like to ask while we are on the call, you should be able to raise your hand. If you go to reaction on your laptop or on your device, you'll be able to see where you can raise your hands and you can ask your questions. If you want to ask your question live, then we can unmute you and you can ask your question. If not, drop your questions for us in the chat box and we're going to pick that up and respond to you accordingly. Okay, so yeah, I am the one that's going to start the formal workshop formal presentation, and I just want to talk about understanding global scholarships. So one thing I also realized that people do not also understand what scholarship is. In fact, some people even still doubt that scholarship is a scam. I remember I was on live sometime last year. A lady came to my live on TikTok and she was like, is it real that scholarship exists? That who will give you money to go abroad for free? And I'm like, okay, so people still do not believe that scholarship exists. That people who do not still know that these opportunities they exist. So if people do not know about this, then it means that so many people are so out there who needs to be informed that this is how it works and this is what you need to do for you to get it. Which is also why one of the reasons why we are here sharing our experiences and our thoughts with you guys. Okay, so let's dive deep into what is scholarship and how it works. Next slide, please. Now, what is scholarship? So, scholarship are financial aids, financial support that individuals, which is you can get from either from the government of a country, or you can get it from an organization, an institution, or even an individual. So, it's a financial aid that is given to you to support your education, and you don't need to pay back. They are given to you and you don't pay back. When I got my scholarship in 2021, I was telling my dad that my scholarship was worth over, as at 2021, scholarship I got to the UK was worth over 50 million naira, because my tuition fee only was about 23,000 pounds. I studied chemical engineering, so you can imagine engineering costs will be very expensive. And then before you see them paying my visa costs, my travel costs, and even paying me monthly allowance for my feeding and accommodation. So roughly, I would say the money that was spent on me by Commonwealth is worth over 50 million naira, which is approximately, let's say, over 35,000 pounds, if I'm able to do the conversion right. Like, it is super, super expensive. But guess what? Till today, I have not paid them a dime back. It was for free. I didn't have to pay back. That's the goodies about getting a scholarship. And scholarship is given to you based on academic merit, your talent, or your financial needs. So there are different type of scholarships, which I'm going to get into shortly. But just an overview is that this money is given to you because you deserve it. So imagine you a millionaire in Nigeria, or for wherever you're from. If you want to invest into someone, I guess you not just give your money to anybody you see on the street. The person should be worth the money. So that is how scholarship works. And you also need to demonstrate why you should be given that opportunity. Okay. The next slide, please. Now, there are different type of scholarship funding. The popular one I always talk about, or you mostly see I talk about, are fully funded scholarships. This was the scholarship I got through Commonwealth Scholarship. It covered everything I needed to come to the UK to study. I didn't spend a dime of my money. Shishi, I did not spend. It was fully funded. It usually covers tuition fee. They will give you monthly allowance, or however they want to split your allowance, but there's always an allowance for you. It covers your feeding, your flight, your visa costs. So everything that will need you to move from your country to the new country you are going to, everything is fully funded. All you need to do is for you to be available to travel and carry your bag and travel. That is it about fully funded scholarship. And also, about kind of scholarship, they're actually very, very competitive, because, of course, many people are applying for scholarship. You know, when Commonwealth Scholarship is usually open, and the types of Chevening and Mastercard is also are also open, you will see how there is so much noise everywhere about this scholarship. It is because they are fully funded. They will cover everything you need. So if it opens, why not jump on it and apply? So that is one of the benefits of fully funded scholarship. It is very competitive, yet it is very rewarding if you are able to get the scholarship. Another one is partially funded scholarship. This one is the ones that usually do not cover everything. It's either they're covering just tuition fee and living expenses, or they're covering either one or two of the ones you find under fully funded scholarship. So that's why it is called partial scholarship. Another popular one you would also find are tuition only scholarship. These ones are the ones that only covers your full tuition fee. You will have to pay for your accommodation, you have to pay for your visa costs, you have to pay for your travel costs. So I've seen people who have asked me several times to say, "Oh, Lucy, I don't have the money to pay for my accommodation or visa. They give me the scholarship." So what I just advise them is that what you should do is just focus on any scholarship you see and just apply for them, and just pray that if you fully funded scholarship you have applied for, they come through for you. So what I would say is understand that there are different type of scholarship funding, and when you're applying for scholarship, you know what you are applying for, and you also know what you need to help you get to your destination. Okay. Next slide, please. And these are different type of scholarships that you are also going to find there. Like I said, for the sake of this workshop, I'm not going to dive deep into how you will know these different type of scholarships when you see them, because when you're applying for scholarship, you will surely know what type of scholarship they are before you begin your applications. But like I said, I'm not going to dive deep into showing you how you're going to find that. Okay. Now, when applying for scholarship, there are different type of scholarship. One is merit-based scholarship. For a scholarship you are applying for, of course, they need you to be very, very good academically for you to be able to apply for the scholarship. Some also involve you having leadership experience, having some academic or professional achievement, and also even having professional impact in your community. So in summary, these scholarships are the ones that ensures that you really deserve for them to invest in you. You should be sound enough for them to say, yes, I want to invest this money into this person. So, like I always advise people that come to me, if you are currently still in school as a student, please do all your best to graduate with a good grade. It helps a lot. It helps a lot. It's just like you have ticked one out of the many boxes they look at for when they want to award scholarships. So academic merit-based scholarship are the ones that ensures that you have the needed qualification academically for you to be able to apply for the scholarship. Another one is um need-based scholarship. So this one is typically for those who are from low-income families. You will get that mostly from Mastercard financial kind of scholarships and other scholarships that are mostly for those who are need-based. They are from like low-income families, so they want to give to those kind of people. So also note that when you're applying for a need-based scholarship, they may ask you for proof to show that you do not really have the money to study or move abroad to study. Then other ones are fit specific scholarship, which can be in your different areas of study. So that's one. And another one is, which is very popular, is scholarship that are awarded by the government of different countries or universities. You're going to find them like Chevening Scholarship, Commonwealth Scholarship, Erasmus Scholarship. These are scholarships that are funded by the government of different countries, and even some universities as well also fund scholarships as well. Okay, next please. I'm just conscious of our time. I'm almost done. Now, based on, like I said earlier, I have worked as a scholarship program manager, and I have given several scholarships to African girls who are studying STEM-related programs. And those times when I was awarding scholarship, there are things we look at for before we say, yes, this person deserves to have a scholarship. And these are part of the things that I just talked about in my previous slide. The first one they look at for is academic excellence. They want you to prove that if they give you that money to go to that country to study, they want to be sure that you will be able to complete your studies without any issues. So that's why I said, if you can, if it is possible, please graduate with a good grade. Another one, which is also very, very important, you will find about what scholarship look at for, is leadership and impact. This part is something that people do not really focus on when they're trying to build their portfolio. Personally, when I was beginning my journey, building my career, I never knew that volunteering was going to pave a way for me. I never knew. I was doing it out of passion and love for impacting. I never knew that the story was going to change my life in the future. So what I would say is, if you can, please get involved in impacting those in your community and leadership. Benedicta is going to talk about this in details to us tomorrow, because she really have an experience using these kind of programs to build a portfolio. Another very important key things to consider when applying for scholarship is have a clear vision and purpose. When applying for scholarship, you're not just coming there to just write what you think you want to write, but you should have a very realistic goal and clear plan on what you want to do and how you want to achieve it, and even how the scholarship is going to help you achieve those goals. And lastly, when applying for scholarship, do well to ensure that your scholarship, the scholarship you're applying for, is also aligned to the scholarship aim. So what I mean is that if you're applying for a STEM scholarship, which is science or engineering scholarship, when you're writing your application or essay, ensure that you align them to what the company or the essay, the scholarship committee is looking at for, so that they can closely know that you are working in line with what they are looking at for in the scholarship. So what I would say is, if you are able to have these 4 key points at the back of your mind whenever you're applying for scholarship, it's definitely going to make you stand out whenever you submit your applications for scholarships. Next slide, please. Yes, I also wanted to just walk you guys through the ScholarWaka website, which I'm going to do very, very quickly. ScholarWaka website is something that many of you is very familiar with, but it'd be good for me to just quickly show everyone, just in case you have not seen our website before, or you have never used our website before. So this is ScholarWaka website. And like I said, we try to ensure that we simplify the application process for you. All the info you need to apply for scholarships are here. So once you come here, we have a lot for you to consume. A lot. So if you want to apply for scholarship, if you have a desired country you want to apply to, just come to our scholarship by country session and check for the scholarships according to the country you're looking for. Or if you want to streamline to the level you want to apply for, let's say you're like looking for undergraduate scholarship, just click on undergraduate scholarships and you're going to see all the info about the scholarships. So do always come here to explore. Trust me, every day, I and my team will ensure that we drop something new here for you. And we also ensure that we have some information here about how you can apply for the scholarship. So like scholarship guides, scholarship information, we have them here as well for you to be able to guide you to applying for scholarship. So do well to always explore our website so that you'll be able to find opportunities. Trust me, there is a lot here for you to explore and you don't want to miss this opportunity. So always explore. And you also know that I have a YouTube channel as well. Just in case you are not aware, this is also where I share practical step by step on how you can apply for scholarships or what you need to do. So if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please also do subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can also get notification whenever I post any videos about how you can approach any scholarship that you can find on our website. Okay, I hope this is helpful. So I'll give us some time now for questions. So for anyone who have question, if you have any specific question around what I've talked about, you can ask your question, and then before we have the next speaker come on board.
Yeah, Abigail has a question.
Okay,
Abigail, you can unmute and speak.
Good afternoon, Ma.
Hello, Abigail. Nice to connect with you.
Nice to connect with you. I'm from Nigeria, Delta State. I have a question is about undergraduates. So basically, you were speaking about the fact that we must have to fill our portfolio, that we have to volunteer and do other things. For me as a person, if I haven't done all this volunteering and everything, could it affect me when applying for scholarship?
That's a very good question. And what I will say is, since you are still applying for, so let me answer first. First of all, I would say it's a yes and it's also a no. It's a yes because many scholarships look at for those who have, in one way or the other, impacted in their own little way. Because now you're coming to say, I should help you. But what have you done in your own little way to also help people in your community? So what I also do is sometimes there are things that you have been doing while you were in secondary school that you never thought that you were actually making impact. For instance, if you were very good in a subject and you were always teaching your classmates how they can understand a particular topic or subject, that's also an impact. That is a story you can tell. Or let's say, for instance, you were a prefect, maybe a class prefect, or you were a head girl or academic prefect in your school. Those are what you can also add as impact. So just think about, when have I taken initiative to lead or done something extraordinary? That can count as an impact. So it must not be like I have volunteered before you would know that you have done an impact. But if you also want to build your portfolio, I would say begin to look at for how you can do something more extra. That can be in your church, that can be in your with your friends in your street. Teach children in your street how they can understand 1 + 1 = 2. So in what way can you impact? But if you think back, you will see that you have done some good things before that can also be added to your portfolio as an impact. So there are different ways you can actually build your portfolio, which tomorrow Benta is going to really talk more into that kind of scenarios. But I hope that answers your question.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. I will also have a look at the comment as well. If there's if anyone wants to come up to ask their question, that would be good as well. If not, I will also check the comment. Is Solace here now? So I can also hand over to her.
No, not yet. I'm checking, and I've not seen her yet.
Okay. How about Deborah? If she's here, she can. Is Deborah here?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
So
we're just checking for our. So while we're waiting for the next speaker to join, let me quickly just check. Who? Okay.
Bonaventure wants to ask a question.
Okay.
Good day, ma. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, the team. Please, my question. May you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, my question is about the English proficiency exam. I just want to ask, because I'm going for an undergraduate program. I just want to ask if the exam is always required, because for the sites you have provided, most times I do go, then I'll see in a place. Sometimes they'll write you need an English exam and all those things. So I just want to ask, how can one that have not gone to university that wants to go out to school for a fully funded, how can there be an opportunity there for? Is there any opportunity?
Okay, that's a very good question and a very practical question. So what I would say is, not all scholarships needs you to provide IELTS, English proficiency tests. Not all scholarships. There are some that would say it is compulsory, and there are some that would say it is not compulsory. Now, how do you know it is not compulsory? That is where I will have to dive deep to show you on like a school website how you can tell that you do not need to provide English proficiency test. For instance, if you're from Nigeria, some countries like UK, Canada, and other countries believe that we are from English-speaking country, and they can waive English proficiency test for you if you have at least a C6 or C5 and above in your English when you wrote your WAEC or NECO. There are schools who can waive that for you. But you will only be able to see this if you check through the school website and dig how to find that. Okay, so not all scholarships need you to write IELTS, but some will say it is compulsory. Like now, if you're applying to scholarship, let's say in this country, what's the name of this country? Is it not Netherlands, not New Zealand? What's the name of the country? IELTS is compulsory for for that particular country. I'm just about to remember. I've forgotten that. I think it's New Zealand. Yeah, or I've forgotten. But some countries will say it is compulsory, but always check to see if there are possibility for you to be able to waive English proficiency test when applying for different scholarship. I hope that answers your question. Okay, Pablo has a question.
Hi, I'm Pablo from South Africa.
Okay.
I just wanted to back off of that question. Say that the university or the university the program that you're looking towards does not require an English proficiency, but the scholarship does. Is there a way to argue that with maybe the scholarship committee if that is possible?
So I think the last part of the question, can you repeat that last part of the question?
I'm asking if it's possible. Let's say the school does not require you to have an English proficiency test, like you're saying, you need to have a specific level at least. But the scholarship that you're applying for is like, no, we need you to have this test. How do you go about it?
Okay, that's a very good question. From experience, most scholarship we have their own criteria, while schools have their own criteria. So it is good for you to double check what the scholarship needs and what the school needs. If the scholarship says it is a must, then that means it's a must. There was one I saw recently on the ScholarWaka website that says, I think it's a scholarship in Belgium, and English proficiency test is compulsory for the scholarship. But from experience, you will hardly see a scholarship that says it's a must. Let me say it's 1 in 10. Mostly the scholarship would say focus on what the school needs and not what the scholarship needs. They depend on what scholarship the school is going to require from you. So it's good for you to just know or understand what they need so that you can use that to, provide what they need. But it's also okay for you to also double check with the scholarship requirement, because sometimes they have what they can waive proficiency for you if you are from an English speaking country, or if you have learned your previous studies in English language. They can waive that, but you need to double check to see if they have that kind of condition where they will tell you it's not compulsory if you have if you studied before in English language. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Thank you. Okay, let's take 1 or 2 more questions before bring the next speaker on board.
Okay, so this is Abigail again.
Okay, Abigail.
I'm here for another question. So specifically, I was reading through due for scholarship, and I saw that it was stated that for most scholarships, there are some passcodes that are given that you're supposed to apply with. Like, how do I put it? Like, there's some passcode for some particular courses, like maybe if you're applying for medicine and surgery, or you're applying for nursing or engineering. Is it really specific that you must put that passcode? Or I don't know, there's a word they used for it when you are applying for a scholarship. And how do we find that passcode in the scholarship or when going through the school website?
Okay, so this is where having a very detailed deep dive session comes in. Like I said, what we are doing here, we're not going to like dive deep into how do you locate this kind of crucial information in an applications, right? So what I would say is every scholarship will definitely give you whatever information they need you to provide in your application. Some, like I said, can give you a passcode or a particular thing that you need to understand. So before you apply for scholarship, ensure that you have read scholarship requirements and you understand it before you begin. So in that way, you know what you are trying to provide or respond to as you apply for the different scholarships. Okay.
Perfect.
But unfortunately, I'll not be able to like deep dive, but in any application you're applying for, you'll be able to see that. So Les, if you are here, can you let us know that you're here? We are unable to identify you on the chat. We're just waiting for our other speaker to come on. Yeah, so before she comes on, I'll just answer 1 or 2 more questions. Okay, can you let Patrick speak? He has his hand up. I think I can even unmute.
Yeah,
okay.
Patrick, you can speak. Okay.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
My question is based on a Commonwealth shared scholarship. From the aspect of nomination, not from the nominating agencies now. It's from nominating the schools you applied for that needs to nominate you. I applied for Commonwealth Share Scholarship last year, and I wasn't nominated by my chosen university. Now, my question is, do I write to the university that I need a nomination, or by default, the Commonwealth Share Scholarship will notify the schools that have applied for that they need to nominate me? I just need a clarification on that. Hello. Hello.
Okay. What? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's breaking, please.
Can you hear me? It's a network.
Must be network.
Can you? Okay. Yeah, I think it's from his end. Okay, I think I got your question. What you asked was if you are applying for a Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, do you need to notify the school if you need to if you need to notify the school if that you are applying for the Commonwealth Scholarship? That's what I understand. So if that is what your question is, so the answer is yes. In most cases, it is advisable that you notify the school. I think I made a video about this on my YouTube channel, like lots of questions and answers you just need to be aware of. I would just say go watch that full video on YouTube so you can have an idea of what you should do when applying for Commonwealth Scholarship. But it's advisable that you notify the school that you are applying for the Commonwealth Scholarship, so that because they communicate, the school and Commonwealth communicate, so it's good for you to notify the school that you are applying for scholarship. It did not take anything for you to let them know. So yeah, I will advise that you notify the school. So another thing is that most of these schools also have their own requirements. So because it is Commonwealth, does not mean that you not go to the school site to see what the school also requires from you. So most schools will say on their website clearly that contact us when applying for the scholarship. But some schools might say they won't say anything. So if you go to the school site, you usually see what you need to do and how you need to do it. Okay. All right.
Yeah, a few more people raising up their hands.
Okay.
Umar Amat, you can speak.
Hello.
Okay, yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, ma. Ma, please, I just wanted to throw more light on the undergraduate program because there was a time I wanted to apply for one you posted. Then I went on the site. Then I saw there if you are not in this particular country, you cannot apply for the scholarship. So, and I don't know, they didn't put any English this thing requirement there, but they also say if you are not in this country, you cannot apply till you write this exam. That is the country mentioned, they can apply for the scholarship, but the ones that were not mentioned, they can not till they put down till they write the exam for the undergraduate program. So, and I don't know, please, if you can, if there's a guide on how to check if the schools need the exams and or if they don't, please.
Yeah, so I think I may have to do a video or an article to explain that. Usually, it's what I always talk about when I have my mentorship classes. For those who have done my mentorship classes, they can testify that I have shown them how to look at for these little things, because once you do not get it clear from their requirements, you are really unable to even submit a good application. So yeah, I will do my best to do a video about. So I think that question, how you can find, how you would know that you need to provide IELTS or English test or not. But they are usually mostly on the either the school website or the scholarship website. They usually talk about that. So it is always obvious, and it's just for you to know how to find it, which is
Oh,
tricky, but it is usually on their website.
Okay. Okay. Please, can I ask one more question?
Okay.
Yeah, about the academic criteria, like academic based criteria. That's you because you made mentions of academic talent and this thing for getting a merit scholarship. So about the
Mhm.
academic part, is it in your WAEC or NECO you having a good outstanding result? Then that's for the academic part. That's a proof of you. Maybe you can merit the scholarship or something like that when applying.
Yes, especially your grade that you have. So let's say if you have A's and B's in your WAEC or your WASI, whatever result your previous studies, it shows that you're already good. So imagine seeing a result and you're seeing A's and B's, and you see on that one you're seeing E, F, and D's, and maybe just C's. So
Oh,
make that you
okay.
will see that okay, this is good, this is not too good. But like I said, if you are still in school, do well to ensure that you are able to get good grade. But notwithstanding, that shouldn't also limit you because sometimes you can justify why you didn't get good grade. For some people, it might be that because they came from a very low income family, they had to hustle their way through school. And because of that, they were unable to really focus so much into education. So that's also understandable, right?
Okay.
So
But
yeah,
there's sorry, there's no preference between the WAEC and NECO because I'm not yet in school, but I'm not yet in the university, so I just want to apply, do many applications before getting to the university yet.
yeah, so you can use your WAEC or NECO to submit your applications.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh no, and no combination of results.
Usually, it's usually one. I've not seen who have combined result before. That one happens in Nigeria, right? But people abroad don't know
Yeah.
what is combined result. So I would
Okay.
say a
My next
single one would be great. But if you have both, you can submit both of them. If both of them are good, you can submit the both of them.
okay, the both are good, man.
Yes, then you can submit both of them as your proof of excellence result. Okay, I'll just take one more question before we move on to the next.
Good,
Please
good,
is
good,
Sole or
good
No,
Deborah?
evening.
no.
Okay. Okay, any other person trying to ask a question?
Omar, you
Okay, I
can
have a
ask.
question.
Yeah, please go on.
Okay, I did my high school in French, so that I found my baccalaureate in French, but I continue my university at English university. I found my advanced diploma in English, so that the problem if I need to apply like an scholarship worker, does it need like a English like edits or others diploma? Is it required?
I'm not sure if I understand your question correctly, but from what I can understand from what you have said is if do you need
Mm.
to have English tests to apply for scholarship? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah, it's like this.
Okay, so for you, if your country is like it's something I've talked like several times already today, is that if you are
Mm.
not from an English speaking country, you may be required to write an English proficiency test because
Yes,
they need to be sure
because
that you can communicate in
mm,
English language. And like I also say,
yeah,
there's a scholarship that would waive English test depending on your country. So if you're
okay,
from an
because and my country is French system. It's not English system. But
okay,
I did my high school in French, but I did in my university. I found like now advanced diploma in English.
okay. So it depends on, so it still boils down to checking the requirement for the school. So I can't tell
Okay.
you if you can apply for scholarship without that. So it's
Mm.
just basically ensuring that you check the school requirement to see what they need from you.
Okay, I have another question. Some university say that they don't need like English test like elites or another. When you need to apply, when you go to check it inside the English requirement is required.
Sorry, can you come again with that question? I didn't get that clearly.
I say that some university, if you need to apply, they say that without elites, you can apply it. But if you enter on the system, inside, you can find that English test is required for elites or others tests.
Yes, so like I said, if I got it correctly, it's a year. You just need to check the school site to know what they need you to provide so that you are able to provide it.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. You need to check that.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, any other question? Yeah, so one of our speakers, it looks like she's not available to join. She ought to be the next speaker. So we are just checking to see if the second person that was supposed to speak will be here. But yeah, just ask your. Yeah, so I'll still be taking some questions while we are expecting the other speaker to come up.
Solomon, you can speak.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good evening, Lucy and your team. And I would like to say thank you for this opportunity you are giving us. The question I'm going to ask, part of the question was answered already in the WhatsApp group. I'm asking the question because I want to have a clear understanding on my situation. I had my secondary diploma or GCE advanced level. I am a Cameroonian, a GCE advanced level in 2015. And then on, I left school. I went in for professional training in 2020. And later on, I went back to university in 2024. And I had an associate degree. Now, I would like to ask, when applying for maybe bachelor degree or bachelor scholarship, will it be necessary for me to attach my advanced level diploma or just with my associate degree?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Since your highest qualification is not a bachelor's and you have done some diploma, you can add that to your undergraduate application for scholarships. It just shows that you are very curious to learn and you have done further studies. In fact, you even have more advantage compared to those who just have their high school certificate. So, what I would say, if you're applying for undergraduate and you have done maybe a diploma or any course or any program that is higher than your first qualification, then you can also add that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, so I'll pick some questions from the chat as well. I saw a question from someone saying, let me just read it from here. So someone just asked a very good question that what do you do? He's from Jasfed. What do you do if a scholarship emphasizes that you should return to your home country after study and applicants do not want to go back? That's the condition for the scholarship, and there's nothing you can do about that. I want Commonwealth scholarship, right? And you know, one of the conditions for Commonwealth is that you need to go back to your home country when you are done. And nobody wants to go back to where they're coming from. Because if it was good, you will not leave it and say you want to go abroad, right? So it's the scholarship condition. That's what it is. You can't change anything about it. So it's also good for you to check all of these conditions before you want to jump into it. During my time, I saw it, but I still applied, right? I had to apply because I let me see how it goes. Then I don't know how it happened, but I had to find my way back. I actually left UK to Nigeria. I left and I had to come back. So for most scholarship, their conditions are very strict. For instance, if you're applying for Chevening scholarship, they will say leave the UK and you can come back in the next 2 years. That's Chevening scholarship. You can't come to the UK in the next 2 years. But for Commonwealth, you can leave. For me, I got Commonwealth, right? I left and I came back and then I found a job, which is like your work visa that will enable you change from student visa to work visa in the country. So you're able to change your visa status. So it just depends on different scholarships, different countries and their conditions and how they are strict with it. So it's good to just know. It's good to just know that some scholarships are like that, and you already know if you want to apply for this kind of scholarship. It's the condition. There's nothing you can do about that. Someone also said, is there a higher possibility of getting scholarship with application fee than without? So that's a very good question as well. Some scholarships, when you want to apply for them, most of them will require you to pay application fees to the schools, while some do not require. If you are lucky, you can find the ones you will not pay application fee. If you are not lucky, you will have to spend money. During my time, like I said in the beginning of the video, I ran into debt because I was paying application fees. I didn't want to give up or not put my best into the journey. I remember my first choice for Commonwealth scholarship, I paid £53 then for application fee. But then I didn't even get admission from the school. My second choice was the one that gave me admissions, and I did not pay application fee to those schools. So it just depends on if you're applying for scholarship, check if you can find options that don't need to pay application fee. But if the scholarship is very good and you feel like, oh, you have a chance, then you might want to invest into paying application fee. But not all scholarships will tell you to pay application fee. So I just thought to mention that as well. What other question? Pharmacies. Okay. Any other? Yeah, Christian can ask his question. Why I'm just looking at the questions I have in the chat box.
Christian, you can ask your question.
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm very, very grateful for your efforts in putting out these informations.
Okay, you're welcome.
My question, I have two questions, though you have answered the first one. The first one, though, it was not completely answered. I was trying to actually know if there is high possibility of getting scholarship with those ones that have application fee, because I have applied so many scholarship that doesn't have application fee and I was not offered. So I wanted to ask, those ones that have application fee, do you have higher possibility of getting them? That's the first question.
It's not a guarantee you will get a scholarship because of that application fee. It's not a guarantee. It's just part of their application process. There was one I saw this morning, and a school in Canada. Maybe you guys might have seen it on the ScholarWaka website, MC Master Scholarship. And they were like, application fees about $200 and something. I'm like, what? That's plenty money. So imagine somebody from Nigeria that wants to apply for such scholarship, they're spending almost 400,000 naira for application fee. So yeah, and it's not a guarantee that will give you a scholarship or even give you an admission. Like I said earlier, the one I paid application fee for didn't give me admission. So yeah, it's not a guarantee.
Okay. The second question I have is that if you're applying for a scholarship, like I'm applying for the Allen Nesta Ferguson, the Allen and Nesta Ferguson scholarship, if you should apply it in 3 different schools, will you be disqualified? Like you're applying for Allen and Nesta Ferguson scholarship from 3 different schools, like you're applying one for University of Leeds, the other one from University of Sheffield, and one again, but the same scholarship. Will you be disqualified? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Christian, maybe
Can you hear me?
a network kicked her out.
Can you hear me now? I can hear you. Hello?
Our host is
Can
not
you hear?
here. I think network kicked her out.
Sorry,
Just
sorry,
hold
I
on.
was just speaking to the
Okay.
to the next speaker. She tried to reach out. Yeah, please, can you come again with your question? So sorry about that.
I said that, take for instance, will you be disqualified when you apply for the same scholarship? Like you're applying for Ellen and Esther Ferguson scholarship from 3 different universities. Will you be disqualified? Like applying for Allen and Esther Ferguson scholarship from Leeds, the other one you're applying it from Sheffield, correct. Will you be disqualified?
No, you will not be. It is better you apply for all of them, and then you know that you have your eggs in different baskets than applying for just one. So, yeah, you will not be disqualified. So apply for as many as possible. Like I said, even when it was Commonwealth application, I also advise that apply to many schools. You can apply to up to 20 schools if you have the strength to write 20 applications or 20 essays. So usually advisable that you apply for several, but once it is time for you to choose once it's time for you to choose a particular scholarship when you're being awarded, you can only choose one scholarship. You can't choose two. You can't say, oh, I will take Leeds and take Sheffield. It will be one, but you can apply for different scholarships, and then you'll be able to.
Okay, I really appreciate. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Okay. I give it to William. He has a question.
William, you can speak now.
Yes, good evening, ma'am. Good evening, everyone.
Okay, I can hear you.
Yes, now, concerning this,
You're very far from your microphone. You're very far from your microphone. I can't hear you if you're speaking, William. I can't hear you if you're speaking.
Maybe it's network.
Yeah, please, can you hear it to Suleiman? Let him ask.
Okay, Suleiman. All right. Suleiman, you can speak now. Oh, sorry about that. You can speak now.
I'm sorry, my mic was muted. Can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah. Go on.
Good evening, and my name is Suleiman Abdulaziz, and I want to thank the host and the co-host for this wonderful session. My question goes as thus: is it possible for someone already studying a program like here in Nigeria to apply for a scholarship of the same program at a different country and have a chance of continuing his education from where he stopped in a particular country?
Fantastic question. It's a yes. It should I say yes? I don't want to say a yes or a no, right? Like I said, different scholarships have their requirements. There are some that we say you cannot do transfer of credits or transfer of whatever. There's a video I made on YouTube, my last video on YouTube about a scholarship in Singapore. It was clearly stated there that you cannot transfer your previous study to the scholarship you're applying for. You must start from the first, which is your 100 level. So you need to also understand what is their requirement. Can I transfer? From experience, I haven't seen scholarship that will allow you to transfer. I haven't seen any. Maybe I haven't seen, maybe because I've not come across it, but I haven't seen anyone that would say transfer your credit from your 300 level in Nigeria to 300 level, 200 level in UK. I haven't seen this kind of scholarship. So if you're looking for transfer programs, you may not find lots of scholarship opportunities. Maybe they are there. I haven't seen. Maybe you have to check, but many scholarship, if they will allow transfer, you will see it in their scholarship requirements or their criteria to apply. And there are people as well who is currently studying in Nigeria and they want to apply for that same course in another country. Well, someone that joined my mentorship class recently, about 2 months ago, is currently a law student in Nigeria and is still applying for law programs in the UK. So is not planning to transfer, rather trying to is planning to start from 100 level. So in that case, you might want to reapply for you to start from your previous, because to start from your previous year or from the first year or your 100 level. So transfer, it's almost impossible, but maybe a few scholarship does that. I hope that answers your question. Okay, yeah, it's good. Some people are connecting already in the comments. I can see people saying, let's connect. Yeah, if possible, please connect with those that are the same area of study, like minds people. Please do connect. As someone was talking about connecting with Jakpa, please do genuine connection here. Okay, we want genuine connection here. But yeah, if you can drop chat in the comments and see if you're going to find like minds that would want to apply for the scholarship or the programs you're applying for. Someone also asked if I can give guidelines for someone who is looking for a fully funded PhD scholarship in guidance and counseling. Amma, so I saw your question. So what I would say is looking for PhD scholarship is very, very tricky. It is not, I would say it's not the way you just apply for BSc or master's scholarship. I've had persons I've been working with very closely on one-to-one mentorship. And that's even when I realized that, looking for PhD scholarship is very tricky. But one thing you also need to know is that there are so many hidden opportunities in for PhDs. And I made a video about it some time ago on YouTube, how you can find or how you can search for PhD programs in your different area of field. You might want to check out that particular scholarship, that particular video on YouTube, or you can connect with me and we can discuss how I can direct you on what to do and how to do it. But trust me, you can find opportunities for PhD in your area of study. If you do the right search or check it the right way, you should be able to find something for yourself. So drop your comments on the chat. You might find someone that really aligns to what you're looking for. People are dropping their emails, their LinkedIn contacts here. Connect to people that are in your area of study, okay? Because you never can tell who will be your accountability partner. So I'm just checking the chat for any other questions. Somebody's asking about Italian scholarship requires MBBS too. So that question, I would say, Lasisi, please just come back here tomorrow. It's a very good question you might want to ask Arike when she's here tomorrow. She's very experienced when it comes to scholarships in scholarship in Italy. So it will be a good one to look at for. Okay, so we have our second speaker here. So sorry for the delay. I think we had like misunderstanding with the time. So, but she's finally here to share her experience with us. Like I said earlier, please can you go to the next slide, please? Like I said earlier, Soles is super experienced when it comes to scholarships. I really like her. I really like her story on how she began from Nigeria as a girl who was looking for opportunities, and she was able to apply for several scholarships, and she got two in the same year. So she must be very good. So she's here to share with us her experience and how she was able to bank a scholarship. Okay. Okay, so over to you, Soles. And thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate your time here.
Please, let's thank Lucy and welcome Soles, please. Let's see your favorite emoji in the chat box. Say welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. First of all, I want to say I lost my voice. I've had cold in the last few days, so I'm not in my best voice self because my voice is always my power. I talk very much. I love to talk. So I'm kind of I'm saddened and I'm handicapped at the moment. I didn't realize how much voice is important until exactly with losing my voice, but it's not going to stop what we are going to do today. So we are still going to talk. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, ScholarWaka, for inviting me to this session, and I hope that you can still benefit from whatever I have to say, even with this crooked voice. So just give me a moment. Let me share my screen. Okay. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see it?
Yes, we can.
All right. Okay, thank you, everyone. My name is Solis, and I'm going to be talking about finding credible scholarship opportunities. So I'll start by telling my story. I love to tell my story because it gives me the opportunity to encourage people, especially people who are coming from rural communities, rural background, and especially girls like me. So when I graduated from university, I studied at the Kogi State University in Kogi State. So I studied theater arts, and when I finished studying, I was thinking about what I want to do next. Studying theater arts, I think one of the things that we face is that a lot of people discriminate against us. They say our course is Dance 101 and that you just go to university to play. Nobody takes you seriously. People don't even believe you're seriously in the uni. So that kind of a thing. So when I finished, I was like, what do I want to do next? So I was like, okay, one thing I'm certain about is the fact that I want to pursue my master's. I've always wanted to pursue my master's. And this desire also come from my personal experience. Like I had a mom who, got married at early age. I lost my dad. And when I lost my dad, my mom didn't even have education. So my mom had to go to school when we were young. And that means that I have to be alone as a 7, 8, 10-year-old. I was like the mother of the house, taking care of my sibling, waking up in the night with no mother around. I was like, no, I'm not going to do any afternoon school. Like, I'm not going to be like my mom. So I've done uni. So any education possible, I'm going to garner them because I don't want to be like going to school when I'm like at a certain age. And my mom also motivated us. Is like, I don't want any of my girls to go through what I went through. We didn't have that opportunity. After secondary school, they made us get married. But for you guys, I want to take you guys. I want you guys to pursue your education. So she did all she could, made me go through university. And it was difficult, paying school fees and all. It was difficult. I had to do a lot of things to support her. But when I finished uni, I knew my mom didn't have money anymore to take me for master's. So I was determined that I was going to pursue a master's. But now I did theater arts, and people don't take theater arts seriously. How do I find the balance? What do I have to do next? And so I said, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to search for scholarship opportunities. Before then, I've never met anybody that won any scholarship. I've not seen anybody that won any scholarship. But I went on, I searched for scholarship opportunities in Africa. That was the particular keyword that I used. And when I put in that keyword, I got the first scholarship that popped up was the Queen Elizabeth Scholarship. So I was able to now go through the application. Going through the application alone, I was able to know what I need. So I needed I needed a transcript, I needed a certificate. Because I've not met anybody or seen anybody or even seen people online, then I didn't know what I need. So going through this merely was able to make me be aware of like the documents that I need. So I went on, I was doing NYC, I was able to save some money, apply to get my transcript from school. It took some time. You should prepare for that ahead, because some transcripts from school, it will take 6 months for them to give the transcript and all. And then saved money and worked towards getting my passport, because that's what I need. And then I knew that I needed English test. So I started working towards my English test. This is from someone who has no support. I mean, I don't have anybody that will say, oh, quickly give me 5K to apply for this scholarship or apply for my transcript. So I knew that I had to do everything myself. So all the job I had then, my salary and everything, I was putting it and towards getting a scholarship. So all the documents that I needed to get, I saved. When the first money was completed, I got my transcript. When the second one was completed, I got my passport. Then I started saving for English test. And I'm sharing this because of people who say, oh, I don't have money to apply for scholarship. Nobody's coming to save you. You have to save yourself. You have to think into the future. That is just it. So from there, after searching the Queen Elizabeth Scholarship, I got to know about Chevening Scholarship. So from Chevening, that's how I delved into I realized there's a whole scholarship world somewhere. Like there are people, there are scholars, there are Telegram channels, there are Twitter channels, there are WhatsApp groups. Before you know, like if you delve into that community, in that community, like if you see Esther in this Telegram group, you see the same Esther in the next WhatsApp group, you see them in the next webinar. It's a whole community on its own. So from there, I sorry a moment, just need to increase my lights. Yeah. So from there, I delved into this world, attended seminars, workshops, webinars like this, got to know about so many scholarship opportunities. And before you know, I delved into it, started getting rejections, love letters, like we call it in the community, got my Chevening love letters, mapped out the scholarship. The first year I did it, it was so haphazard. I called my lecturers to let them know I want to apply for a scholarship, but it was so haphazard. But the second year, I had like pretty good idea of what's expected. So in the second year, I did I am very very methodical when it comes to what I really want to pursue. I created this whole vision board, like the timelines of the scholarships I've identified, when they are opening, when I am going to start writing my essays, like 3 months, 2 months before, map out the people I'll reach out to on LinkedIn to help me review my essay, give them a lot of time to review the essay, and then submit. So I mapped out January, February, okay, the Korea scholarship, okay, April, the Chinese government scholarship, March, okay, this scholarship, Chevening, okay, August, MasterCard, October. So I mapped them out in 2020/2021. My first attempt was 2019, second attempt 2020. mapped them out and started applying. And I learned a lot of lessons. I learned my first scholarship essay. I looked at it and I laughed at myself because I know I won't even pick myself. It was so nonsensical. I was just being emotional by my story. Oh, I've suffered in this life. Please pick me for scholarship. My mom did not have money to pay my school fees. But I want to get a master's. I want to help girls in my community. Please pick me for this scholarship. It was emotional. It was me investing in my story, but it wasn't strategic at all because everybody had a poverty story. It's not only me that have suffered. I'm just one out of the many Nigerian girls that have suffered. So they can't just use that to pick me. I read my Chivney scholarship essay again. I'm like, this is so nonsensical. So nobody will pick you with this. But yeah, it was good that I made that first attempt because from that first attempt, I was able to learn a lot of lessons, change my approach, my strategy, how I want to tell my story, learned essay writing, structured essay writing with good grammar, good English, good punctuation, learn how to tell my story with impact and metrics, which is something I lacked in the first one. So at the end of the day, I learned a lot. And in 2021, I got many rejections. In 2021, I finally got my breakthrough. I got the Global Korea Scholarship, which is a scholarship sponsored by the South Korea government. They have like quota that they give to certain people. So that year, I think they picked like 11 Nigerians for 2021, and I got that. And then shortly after, the scholarship, MasterCard came first, and then the Global Korea Scholarship. I got to scholarship, and then I was left with the decision of, which one do I want to pick? Do I want to go to Korea? Do I want to go to the UK? So I couldn't believe that I was at the point where I was like, oh my God, this scholarship thing, is it going to ever work? And then I got to the point where I have to choose, like, okay, where do I want to stamp my passport? It's so fancy and good, but the emotional labor, the stress and everything that comes with it is something you have to go through. So yeah, my story is my strength, and I always share it, and I shared it in my scholarship as well. And when you're writing your scholarship essay, your story is your strength. Leverage it, but don't be emotional like me, because almost everybody in Africa have their suffering story. I receive a lot of DMs every day about their suffering story. So it's not only you, don't dwell on your suffering story. It's about the impact. Yes, I've suffered, but this is what I was able to achieve while suffering. This is what I was able to do. This is how I impacted my community. So that's just short a story about me. But let's talk about the real thing, which I'm supposed to talk about, which is where to find credible scholarship opportunity. There are so many places that you can find your scholarship opportunities. You can find them from official university websites, from government embassies, foundations, Chivney, various platforms. But let's talk about the red flags first, because I have like another whole list of scholarships you should explore later. So let's talk about the red flags. So if you are applying for scholarship, one thing you should know is that fully funded scholarships, even many part-funded scholarship, they would not say bring application fee for you to be eligible for scholarship. Don't forget, application fee that you pay to universities, they are different from the application fee that these scammers will ask you to pay. They'll say, pay for applications so that we can give you scholarship. So beware of that. Number two, there's always a pressure to apply. Apply now. If you apply, you are going to get it. You are going to get the scholarship. No scholarship is certain. In fact, genuine scholarships are not certain. They won't come and tell. They don't know who is going to win the scholarship next. It is as fair as much as possible. The process is like application review, interview, so many people on the panel. So nobody is going to guarantee you, apply now and I assure you get the scholarship. No, it's not possible. And then if you see genuine scholarship opportunities, there's always winners online. If you search for the scholarship, you'd have seen somebody that have posted on LinkedIn that they've won the scholarship, or tweeted that they've won the scholarship. So they are genuine online presence. Also, website that they use. If you come on the scholarship website, that is like the organization. You won't see ads popping everywhere. I'm not talking about the third-party websites that host scholarship information. Those ones you can see ads on their website. But when you click on it and it takes you to the original scholarship website, if you start seeing ads popping up everywhere, then you should be aware. Also, their URL and their emails. Anybody sending or offering you scholarship, it has to come from an official email. For example, it's from if it's from a UK university, it always ends with ac.uk. If it's like Canada, it always ends with .us.edu in Nigeria. So be careful and know like .kr in Korea. So all these .net, this, that, be careful, because most of them always a scam. For the ones that are genuine, it aligns with the URL that is very common in that country. For example, in the UK, all the UK universities' websites ends with .ac.uk. All the universities. It's not .org. It's not .anything. You need to be aware of that. So, where can you find credible scholarships? Scholarships, you can find them on websites like third-party websites. You will see like ScholarWaka, for example, opportunity for youth. You can find on the third party website. What they do is that they like look for scholarships happening across all organizations, all government institutions, and bring it to one place for you to now streamline the one that you are looking for. Instead of doing Google search everywhere, they bring it and harness it in one place. So that helps you to, see a lot of opportunities on one platform. Then you filter out the one that is meant for you. The way they do it is that they always add like initial information. Then you can then proceed and click the link to the original website, where you can now get details of eligibility and all. So always make sure you land on the original website if you start from the third-party website. And then aside the third-party websites, the main websites that give scholarship and the main organizations and governments that give scholarship, they always have websites. I say organizations and government because scholarships are in two ways. Either an organization is sponsoring it or government is sponsoring it. Organizations like MasterCard, they have foundations. The organizations like Visa, they have foundations. Organizations like all these your big brands, most of them they have foundations that they help in doing one thing for humanity or the other. So some of them have scholarships. And then government, another one on the other side is sponsored by government bodies and governments of different countries. We have the South Korea government, we have Japanese government, we have China, we have the UK that sponsor more than 3 governments achieving Commonwealth Great Scholarship. The UK government sponsored that. We have so many that has been sponsored by the US as well, like their Fulbright Scholarship. So either the government is sponsoring it or an organization. So you can always find these scholarships there. So let's proceed. Now, how do you know that this scholarship actually fits what you're looking for? How do you know that this is for you? I think the first thing you need to ask yourself is, who is this scholarship designed for? Like the scholarship that I won, the MasterCard Foundation, the scholarship is designed to help young Africans, aspiring African leaders who are educationally there, but also they have like limited ability to sponsor their master's or undergraduate education without any help, without any support. So it's a need-based scholarship, but not just need, educational talent also must be there. You must be able to prove that, yes, I can excel academically. So that is that. You ask yourself, who is this one designed for? They'll always have a description of who their scholarship is designed for. Sometimes it can be for only girls. Sometimes it can be for only people from a certain part of Africa. For example, the MasterCard is for sub-Saharan Africa. So Yeah, it depends on where that scholarship targets. Also, you have to ask yourself, what problem are they solving? When I got the MasterCard scholarship, it was focused on next generation of African leaders. Now, the mission of the scholarship at this era has progressed a bit to focus on climate change and climate crisis. So for you to know that the scholarship is for you, you have to ask yourself, am I passionate about climate change? Can I align my profile to climate change? So also ask yourself, does my story and profile align? What did I study and what are they looking for? Because most of the scholarship, for example, MasterCard, they have restrictions as to what you can study. So if you want to do medicine or you want to do fine arts, they are not going to sponsor that. They will have a list of courses that they want you to study before they can sponsor you. Let me give a moment to ask if you're following, if you're listening to me, and if you're hearing me clearly. Are you following thus far? Yes, thanks for the thumbs up. Okay, let's proceed. So know if it aligns with your profile. So I said I struggled to find my place as to the fact that people mock my course, theater arts. First question I had to ask myself, what can I pivot into that I can use my theater arts education? So I was able to find, when I found the MasterCard scholarship, they had list of courses that they want people to study. Amongst that, I found Africa and International Development. And there I found what I wanted to do. I said, okay, with my background in media, theater arts, communications, plus doing an international development course, I can mesh these two things together to actually achieve my dreams as a communicator who is also passionate about development, education for women, climate change, and SDGs as a whole. So I was able to find my path. So this course you want to study, what you're doing now, you need to find your path. And you should also know that sometimes you may not have flexibility to do what you want to do, but you not have to consider which matters to me first, getting a master's, getting a fully funded scholarship, or the course I want to study. You have to ask yourself which is most important, because I've had so many people reach out to me to say, oh, Solis, I want to do nursing. And they are so fixated on doing nursing. I said, oh, many scholarship may not sponsor your nursing. So why not look for something like global health policy, or maybe international development or food security, something that aligns like with the health field that scholarships are willing to sponsor. Then once you get your master's in global health policy and you are okay and comfortable, why not sponsor a nursing by yourself? So it's the matter of being smart about it, because if you sit and wait, you don't have money to sponsor your nursing, then it's like you're wasting your time, because some scholarship will not sponsor it. So sometimes you have to tweak and realign yourself a bit to be able to benefit from these opportunities. Also, eligibility for selection. Yeah, who can apply is very important. If they say the age limit shouldn't be more than 35 and you are forced and you apply, it is automatic rejection. So also, who do they prefer? Sometimes they say we prefer people that already have a second class upper and above, or we prefer people who are already professionals, or we prefer people who have at least 2 years experience. Chivney says that you have to have 2 years experience before they sponsor you. So you need to know, read in between the lines, because I know that a lot of problems that some people don't like to read. But the thing is, if you're applying for scholarship, you have to read. Like, reading is your life. I was surprised I went through like 100-page document to be able to select the right university for my Global Korea scholarship, because I knew that as a humanities student, Korea would favor people in STEM. So I had to go through 100-page document to learn and read carefully about schools, just for me to select one university that I think may favor me from my humanities background. So you see, reading is your life. So please read in between the line, the eligibility criteria and all. This is very important. Then popular scholarships, that you ought to know. I'm going to mention them, and some of you may be aware of this already. So we have the Chevening Scholarship in the UK, which is for future leaders, and you must have 2 years of experience. We have the Commonwealth Scholarship, which is like a scholarship for people from Commonwealth countries, low and income Commonwealth countries, and it's also sponsored by the UK government. The Commonwealth Scholarship have so many sub scholarships under. They have the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, where a UK university and the government partner together to sponsor you. So it's like they bring half to sponsor you. Then they have the Commonwealth PhD application as well. And if you're here and you're looking for PhD, Commonwealth also is a place you should look at. We also have the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship from the EU, and I think the Erasmus have been restored to UK this year, so students can now come to the UK. When the UK left the EU, students stopped coming, but now this year they've brought it back, so students can come back to the UK. So in Erasmus, you go to many countries to study, and I love that. Like, I love the opportunity to study while visiting several countries and spending like 1 year, 6 months in several countries. It's so good. It's a good opportunity to experience culture. You learn from visiting countries and cultures aside your academics. Then there's the DART Scholarship, and it's sponsored by the German government for study and research in Germany. And then there's the MasterCard Foundation Scholars Program, which is what I profited from, or I benefited. Is for students with leadership potential, and it's also financial need. Sorry. Oh my God. Please give me one moment. Let me clear my throat.
Okay, no problem at all.
Okay, we are progressing. The voice is not stopping me at all. Okay. So the MasterCard I've talked about, it's need-based. So for the MasterCard, you can tell your suffering story, but it doesn't mean you should dwell on it. Don't dwell on it. Talk about it in one sentence and move on to all the other good things you're able to do while suffering. And then we have the Fulbright Scholarship for the US. We have the Mandela Rose Foundation Africa Leadership Program. We have the Chinese Government Scholarship, the Global Korea Scholarship, and the Japanese MEC Scholarship. Chinese Government Scholarship sponsored by China, Global Korea Scholarship sponsored by South Korea government, and Japanese MEC Scholarship by the Japan government. So I've listed some website URL for you on this side, so you can just have a screenshot or copy it down. So scholarships.com, it's a third-party website that brings scholarships together. Opportunitiesforafricans.com is also a third-party website. They bring scholarship from different places and you can explore them. We have the commonwealthscholarship.com. It's for this Commonwealth Scholarship. And then we have the chevening.org, that's the Chevening website. We have dat.de, that's for the DAT Scholarship. We have MasterCard, fdn.org, it's for everything MasterCard Scholarship. ScholarWaka.com, that brought us here today. It's also a third-party website where you can get all scholarship opportunities. And we also have opportunitydesk.org. And I really desk. It was very helpful for me when I was looking for my scholarship. I explored most of these websites, so you can look at them for you to find scholarships that profits you. It means you have to spend a lot of time, like some days, to be able to go through this website to map out the ones that aligns with you. Okay, so key advice and next step for you. So you need to start early. What I learned during my scholarship journey is that if you start early, you'll be able to overcome many hurdles. Scholarship mainly is being selected from not just your document, but the main piece of it is the essay that you write. Nobody's going to say, hi, Solis, come and tell me about your life and let me know if you deserve this scholarship. They will invite you physically. They will only invite you for interview once what you are able to put down on paper as an essay is strong enough. Think about somebody that have never met you. How can they read your essay and be convinced that this person is deserving of this award? So you need to think. That is why essay writing, if I were you, I'll spend the next 1 month exploring essay writing, exploring how to write scholarship essay, because there is a method to it. It's not an academic essay. It's not a dissertation. It's an essay. It's like a personal essay, your story, you as the person, allowing another person to see you through their own lens, but you are documenting in a way that that person who have never met you would know you. So you need to start early. And I remember in 2020, Chevening was going to open in August, and by June, I already started my Chevening essay. I've already given it to a Chevening scholar who has won the Chevening. I think they announced it in June, July. People who had just won their Chevening, I reached out to them so that they can give me feedback before they go to the UK and launch into rigorous academic life. I know that once they go, they may not have adequate time to give me attention anymore. So I made sure that I reach out to them in time, and I started writing my essay 2 months before. Although I didn't end up getting the Chevening essay, but the experience itself, in fact, when I look at my Chevening essay today, the one I wrote in 2020, I still think it's deserving. Although I didn't get it, but I didn't feel like the first time I wrote it that I was laughing at myself. That's what I mean. So start early. Even my MasterCard essay, I started early. My Global Korea Scholarship, I started early. In November, I already started my essay, and the scholarship was going to open in February. So start early. It gives you a lot of time to think about what box you need to tick to get ahead of everyone else. Track deadlines and requirements. Do like a visual mapping, a Notion board, or a to-do list, or a Monday.com project management list, just to track when the scholarship is open and the one you want to apply for, when it's opening, when you need to start, what you need to do is very important. Do it in a very strategic way. It makes all the difference. Don't just wake up and the scholarship is closing tomorrow and you're writing your essay in the night and then you submit. Nah. Even in the era of AI, a scholarship essay that stand out will still stand out, because AI, one thing is that once everybody is putting the same prompt, the same question in AI, and you are getting 100,000 applications, at the end of the day, the person marking will know that all this is generated. So you want to make yours feel unique, not generic like everybody else. So you have to start early. So you also need to apply to opportunities that align with your profile. Even if you've done something else in your undergrad, you can always look for how that thing, the points that connects that thing and what you want to do next. Especially in the UK, they are very lenient towards what you studied in your undergrad and your master's. It must not be the same, but I think if we're going to Canada and all, it has to be very aligned. But yeah, you can always pivot something you've done, either from your experience to, align them with your profile. Then this is the ultimate tip: learn from past winners. There's nobody else that will tell you how it is than people who have been there, done that. YouTube channels, blogs, TikToks, Instagram. Let your FYP be scholarship, okay? If your FYP is dancing and comedy, you are not doing right. Let your keyword, let the algorithm know that the only thing you are thinking about right now is scholarship, and that's the only thing it's going to suggest to you. Yeah. Then for your next step, follow credible platforms, subscribe to newsletters, go to ScholarWaka, opportunities for youth, opportunities desk, subscribe to their newsletter. In fact, you can create a separate email just for this, because I know their newsletters and their marketing email can finish your entire email. It can be very disturbing. So just create a new email so that when you get this pop-up, you know that, it is just for this reason. Any day you are going there, you know that you are going to look for scholarship opportunities. So follow them, subscribe to their newsletter so that you get alerts when a new opportunity is coming. Also, build a tracker for your scholarship. I've talked about this, your Notion board, Monday.com, Google list, wherever, even if it's on paper and on your sticky notes on your board in your room, do whatever you have to do. Then reflect on your stories and goals. Your story is your strong point in scholarship only if you know how to tell it. There's something me and my scholars friend use. There's a slang that we say, it is how you tell your story. You volunteered for one organization and you did, like, maybe you did educational intervention for girls, or you did a climate change intervention, you volunteered. There can be another person who has gone to the UN, who has been invited to Switzerland and everywhere to do development work. And you that just did one voluntary, you know how to tell your story. And that person that have traveled everywhere and been invited to talk everywhere cannot tell their story. You will get the opportunity and the person will not get it. Because one problem that the person that have gone everywhere will face is that, oh, I have a lot of wins. How do I know the one to tell? Then they'll go and tell 10 stories in one scholarship essay. Scholarship essay that has 300, 500 word count. You want to give 5 examples. You want to give 3 examples. At the end of the day, they will not know how to tell their story. They will lose out. So we always say it is how you tell your story. Your story, your situation, your task, your action, your result, the STAR approach. It is how you tell that story. Even if it's 10 people you were able to reach out to, there's how you tell it. There's how you put those metrics that makes meaning. So learn how to tell your story, reflect on your story, and learn how to tell it. Okay, how do you stand out? Volunteering and self-development are my 2 tops. Yeah, self-development means that you're learning how to write your essays, you're attending webinars like this, you are in the community of people who are doing the same thing that you're doing, you are learning new things, you are taking one course. I remember I had to take like a Korean course just to make my profile stand out. I took the the Korean language learning on Coursera just because I want to do something different. I know that there's only 11 slots available. Most of these people will be like science students that I want to do medicine, or I want to do AI, I want to do data science, and I'm not doing any of that. I just want to do media studies. So how am I going to stand out? I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to take a language course on Coursera. If everybody else present their profile and they say that, this person have even taken a language course, see the certificate, they might consider me differently. And it worked. It worked. So self-development, how do you get ahead? How do you improve your knowledge? How do you stand out? Think about it. So any course, anything you can take, courses on essay writing, anything that can make you stand out at all, do it. And then volunteering, yeah, your time is precious, and a lot of people only want to earn money when only want to do something when they have to earn money. If it's not money, don't call me. That's some people's mantra, but it's not always supposed to be like that. Yes, money is important. Aside your salary that you're earning, look for time to do something else for your community. For your community must be experiencing, you come from Africa, there are a lot of challenges our communities experience. Girls' education, teenage pregnancy, sanitation, climate change, so many things, poverty, hunger, child poverty, girls' poverty, menstrual hygiene poverty. A lot of people don't have sanitary pad. A lot of people don't have money for school fees. A lot of our communities, these things are very, very important. You can dedicate your 1 hour a week to do something for your community, even if it's to sensitize girls, if you sensitize boys, sensitize family about domestic violence, about importance of education. Anything at all you can do amongst the 16 SDGs or 16 SDGs, anything at all you can do from that list, identify it and do it. It is very, very essential. It is going to help boost your profile, because you can't say what you don't have. So you have to go through it, do it before you talk about it. And that's it. Let me take any questions that you have, and I'm happy to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Solis. Thank you so much. Your knowledge is something that I was really looking forward to to hearing. Your story resonates so much with mine, and I know that it's also with many persons out there who are here. So thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and your experience. Yeah, we are happy to take one or two questions from Soles if there's any 1-2 persons before Deborah will come in. Okay, let's pick one person. Let me just quickly be Ukpano. Please, can you unmute Ukpano? I'm trying to unmute from my end.
Ukpano, you can speak.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. It was a wonderful and incredible presentation. Thank you very much, Solis, for what you did. It's been quite remarkable. Okay, my question is that I want to ask, because specifically I'm a pharmacist and I have area of interest, which is in oncology research, cancer-related research. And what I want to ask is that, what if opportunities that comes up is not in that area? Maybe it's in public health, and do I really need to switch to any field after I might have maybe spent time, I've built my portfolio in this area so that I will stand out? Or do I need to wait for opportunities in that area for me to apply? Is there anything to say about that?
Okay, I talked based on this when I was doing my presentation. The more you wait for an opportunity that aligns, the more you waste your time. Why? Because beggars don't have choice, especially in scholarship. That's it. The money they want to use to fund you is thousands of pounds. So if I get an opportunity to update my knowledge, why should I wait to align exactly with what I'm looking for? No, I'm going to take the one I have now, because by merely taking that one, you're updating your knowledge. No knowledge is a waste. You see people that have 2 degrees, 3 degrees, right? Now, one of the reasons you're looking for scholarship is the fact that you can't fund your pharmacy master's or PhD or degree, is the fact that you can't fund it. That's the one reason you're looking for scholarship. So if you see a scholarship in public health, which is aligned with health related, is health related, take it. And by merely getting that opportunity, say you come to the UK to study in public health and you really want pharmacy, after your 1 year, there are several opportunities that will be available. From being in the UK alone, you get to learn about the system, you get to meet other students, you get to see opportunities that are available in pharmacy that previously you wouldn't see. You will even be in a better position to apply with your new credentials and added credentials that you never had. So yes, take it. For example, I'm still in the UK. I finished my master's in 2022 and I'm still in the UK. So after your master's, there are several opportunities. Say after your master's and you stay in the UK, by mere working in the UK, the master's you couldn't afford before, you can afford it now, because the value of pounds that you earn now equates to what you are going to pay, not naira. Earning in naira and paying is like outrageous, but earning in pounds, you can now pay for that your pharmacy degree. So don't wait. Anything that aligns, if it's public health, any health related field that aligns, take it. When you come here, you see opportunities. Not just here, you can even see opportunities like in other countries like the US, Canada, even those that require application fee that you can't pay before. By the virtue that you're here as a student, you can work extra 20 hours. You can now afford those fees that you can't pay before. So don't sit down and wait. Take anyone that comes. It adds to the more knowledge you acquire. Eventually, you can go on to pursue the real thing that you want, but update your knowledge with the opportunity that is available first.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Solis, for your time. We really do appreciate. So for others who have questions, please could you drop it in the comment and we'll try to respond to that. We have the third speaker who just want to quickly go through what she has for us today. So Deborah. Thank you so much, Solis. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. And if there are any specific questions that anyone have asked here and is very particular to you, we're going to share with you, and then we can get your direct response. If not, I will respond to them as much as I can, just in case you are no longer on the call. Okay. Yeah. So Deborah, apologies that we had to take a little bit of your time. Yeah, time. But it's worth the time because we have learned a lot from my own story, Soleil's story, and now Deborah is here to share with us. So please, guys, just and we'll be able to quickly go through what we have today. So out to you, Victoria. Oh, Deborah. For those who have questions for Solis, you can drop them in the comment and we're going to attend to them. Is Deborah here?
Yep, I am. Good evening. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, you can. Thank you so much, Deborah. I'm so sorry that we had to take some of your time.
No, that's fine.
Conversation. Yeah.
Solis spoke really brilliantly. Really brilliantly. She's covered a lot of things, absolutely. And the interesting thing is scholarship is scholarship. Masters, PhD. A PhD has, I mean, some slight difference in technicalities, but it is still it's still the same application processes nonetheless. Good evening, everyone. Can everybody see me? Let me see. Can you see me? Am I visible? Yes, we can. Awesome, thank you. All right, I must first start by really appreciating the ScholarWaka team. This is a really beautiful event. Thank you for putting it together. I would say I was just saying a couple of minutes ago off mic how proud I am of the CEO of the ScholarWaka team. Lucy, you're doing a fantastic job, and I'm very, very proud to be with you. And I know that, I mean, Bible always says, despise not the days of little beginning. This is how we convene global conferences. This is how we're gonna, I mean, keep smashing. So well done. Well done. And God bless every member of your team as well. Your team, they're fabulous. I was quite impressed with the communication, communications person. So that was very impressive. Being said, I will just jump right into it. And apologies in advance if I have my gang running behind. My arrangement time has, exceeded. So but that's fine. I'm going to really just go quickly. I will take a different approach. I'm not going to present any slides, and I hope that would be helpful so you can, give your full attention. I'm just going to tell a quick story, and I'm going to hear your questions because really, there's nothing I'm going to say that Solis hasn't said. There's nothing I'm going to say that you cannot find online. If you browse, you're going to definitely find some of those answers as well. I wouldn't major on my journey to a Commonwealth scholarship, but perhaps I will touch on it in little bits as I speak about applying for a PhD. I always knew I was going to do a PhD. So taking notes, probably it will help you if you structure your notes by saying the why, the what, the when, the how, and the who. That would help you probably. So I've always known I wanted to do a PhD because I'm incurable with books. If I wasn't doing anything, I would still be reading. I mean, if I was not official PhD or scholarship or master's or anything, I would still be reading. So that's something that is I'm incurable with books, if I would use that word. So I've always known that. However, the journey to a PhD required more intentionality than just having that passion or just having that flair. So my journey to a PhD officially began in 2022 after I finished my Commonwealth scholarship at the University of East Anglia here in the UK. And some casual conversations with some of my lecturers from the master's course, and then I ran a few topics by them. initially, the topic I opted to do was something I was doing because I knew there was going to be funding in it. I'm really glad that I did not move forward and I did not get a scholarship with that topic, because at a PhD level, this is like a marriage. In a way, you can still switch, but you are married to your topic, you're married to your field in a way. I was going to do something in relation to gender because of the whole craze around gender and identity, but it's not something that I was innately passionate about. It was not something I was, very keen on. I was going was, and it's absolutely fine. One of the first things about your PhD journey or your scholarship journey is your why. You need to be honest with yourself. Why am I doing this? Because Dr. Wonders sounds better than Mrs. Wonders. That's fantastic. Just be honest that's your vanity metrics, and be proud of it. Know that that's exactly what I want to do. If you because you maybe a PhD will allow you earn more money. Absolutely. I'm not to tell you which motives are right or wrong, but your why is very important. And I knew that because I wasn't being true to myself, everything would have tumbled downhill. And this is because a master's, you can do your thing. With a PhD, you have some level of involvement from your supervisory team. And if your topic is not binding you to them, it's like a marriage that is built on false premises. It's like a marriage that is built on, false promises as well. So I wanted to make sure that was right. So I was really happy that my initial topic didn't go through. And then in 2020, and I think the baby got in the way really beautifully. I took some time. And then in 2023, I started getting ready again to apply. And by getting ready, I needed to now sit down and think, what topic do I really want to do? So what do I want to do? I've moved from the why now to the what. What exactly do I want? What problem do I want to solve at a PhD level? And so I took some time to read. I've had some conversation. I've been involved in some research. I've consulted for some NGOs. I had a grasp of the field. And so I could see some loopholes. However, the PhD topic I'm doing now was not something that was on my radar. It was something that came out in a casual conversation with one of my mentors. And he said, to just do something like this. Or if I was going to do a PhD topic, this is what I would do. And I thought, oh, well, yeah, let's try that. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm very comfortable with the topic. So my PhD currently is celebrity humanitarianism in Nigeria. So how Nigerian celebrities are involved in charity work, in philanthropy, their motivation, and all of that. Okay, so I moved from the why to what I was going to study. And then the next point was the who and the where. And these two are linked together. The who and the where, in terms of, okay, unlike a master's degree, or unlike when I was doing my master's degree, for a PhD, I needed to have, you would work with supervisors. They are like I'm going to use the marriage analogy a lot. So they're like your marriage partners on the journey. So to really think, who was I going to do the PhD with? And that was bound up with where. Needed me to familiarize with the field. I love what Sole said about reading. You're going to read like your life depends on it. If you're interested in reading, first of all, I'm sorry, I think you're in the wrong room. Let's shortcut to it. It will not even help you as much. It will help you. If you already love to read, then it can help you. It can build systems and all of that for you. So I had to get familiar with the field. Who are those that are already writing about this subject? Who are those that are writing the most? Who are those that are recognized? Where are they based? Which universities are they where they located? And that took me on a journey from the US to Spain, and from to Denmark. Is it Denmark now? I've forgotten the other country, but a totally different country, in search of supervisors. Because I found that those were where the top people in my field, the people that had written the most, the people I had cited in my proposal, that's where they were. And so I wrote an email to them, explaining my research interest, but mostly talking about the work they've done, acknowledging the work they've done, and saying, I'm looking to study so, and I think you've done fabulous work. And of course, because I'd read their books, I'd read their papers, I'd been reading, I could talk from a place of sincerity, not just, generic template, copy something from ChatGPT, send it off to everyone. They know the tricks. We know the tricks. Because I've done the work, I could reach out and connected to me. And something I always do in my emails is that I usually say, if you do not have the opportunity, or if I understand and appreciate that you are very busy people, so no problems at all if you're unable to have a conversation with me, that's fine. And that's the mindset I go with. It's not a do or die affair. I'm sponsoring my PhD ultimately, and he will always make a way, so I don't go with the mindset like my life depends on this one person. That's the sure recipe for heartbreak, and you're going to get a lot of no's along the way. Okay, so that relationship went really quickly. They replied my email. They were so enthusiastic. Because it's their field. That's one of the advantages of meeting supervisors that are interested in your topic, rather than supervisors that are given to you and there's a force fit. Because they were already passionate about celebrity humanitarianism, they'd written about it, they'd done conferences for a couple of years, 10 years. All of them were so interested. The professor himself was the one sending me all the scholarships that were in Spain. Oh, you should apply for this, you should apply for that. There were some instances where I had issues getting my transcript. He would call me and say, don't worry, do this, do this, do this. Okay, if you're not able to get this official document, don't worry, I'll write a letter. You can see that they were invested in that scholarship. They were very invested. He sent me the government scholarship, sent me the scholarship in his school, and also told me, oh, he has some funding himself, and he's going to try and see if there would be a way to bring me on board. And that's fantastic. However, I didn't take up that. I think what was even more special for me with those professors was me finding out that there were people of faith like me, that the professor was a believer. Oh my God, I was absolutely sold. I'm like, this is the mountain that I'm going to, but I didn't go to Spain eventually. The reason is because, of course, I've got a family here in the UK and I don't speak Spanish. Espanol? No, not at all. So I had to really get practical, and the supervisors were really practical with me. He told me from the onset, this is going to be really tough. He told me in Spain, they don't pay well. You're going to get the scholarship. Because with a PhD scholarship, and with, I'm sure maybe Solis or somebody else might have talked about it, you might be fully funded, in which case it might be full tuition, in which case you don't pay fees. It might be full tuition and stipend, in which case you get paid to study and your fees get paid and all of that. So he told me, yes, you're going to get the full tuition and the stipend, but I must warn you that the stipend will not be enough to cater for your family. So I was very upfront with him. He knew that I had a baby, he knew that I had 2 kids, he knew that I was based here. And then, so eventually it didn't work out because I had to really tell myself the truth. And I had to really go back and say, God, is this exactly where you want me to be? This is where you want me to be. I don't mind moving. And I know I had a supportive husband. He's like, let's go to Spain. Come on, let's go to Spain. But that didn't work out eventually. However, I have kept that relationship. Who knows? They might be the ones to supervise my final PhD. You can never tell. And I've kept that relationship because I could see how much investment that they made, in me. And I kept my final offer, the one I'm currently working with here in the UK. I let them know every step of the way. I let them know. So talks about the who. I've applied to 15 or so or more PhD. That's the part that probably they don't talk about. PhD applications between 2024 and 2025 or 2023. Anyway, yeah, between those times. And I got to meet different types of supervisors. I got to meet the people that will tell me, this full stop, where you put it is not where it's going to be. This apostrophe, why are you using this? I'm like, it's the whole 4 years of a PhD is going to be. I'm not sure that this was going to really kill my joy, but I played along. One of the things that doing PhD application will require of you is to be organized. You need to keep track. Because I was working with almost 8 different supervisory teams at the same time, I had to know what this person didn't like in the proposal and change it and send it to them. What this other person didn't like in the proposal and change it and send it to them. They were giving different comments. Those were helping out. All of the comments, one way or the other, helped me out. Interestingly, the university where I am at now is the school that gave me the least stress. I had the least essays to write, because you will write a lot of essays. You write it like blood, sweat, and tears. You will write essays like you will just write. You can write a book, actually. But it all worked out well. I think for me, this point was in 2024, or a major turning point was in 2024 when one of these days I was just praying, and then from Isaiah 45, I mean, I got that scripture that I've gone before you to make the way straight. And that's one of the scriptures I held throughout all the applications. And that's something that still carried me till now. I say this because if it will demand from you something that your human capacity is not equipped to deliver, you will wake up some days and you are wondering, send me, what am I doing here? But if you know your why, and if you know really who's behind your PhD at the end of the day, that has been my story. That will work for you. So that's the why, the what, the who you get to work with. The when is, in a way, it depends on you, and in a way, it doesn't depend on you. So I started applying since 2023, unofficially, 2024, and then 2025. And so it doesn't depend on you fully, but in a sense, it depends on you, because if you don't take the first step to, first of all, deciding, okay, I want to do this, and I want to get all of these fundings, I want to get serious, I want to get organized, then you keep pushing it ahead. One good, useful advice one of my academic mentors here in the UK gave me is that if you want to do a PhD in 2026, this is 2026, if you want to do a PhD in 2027, this is the time to start applying, because it's a long journey. It's a long journey. Supervisors are busy. They would refine back and forth. They would want to know you are in it for the long run. So, I mean, Sulis has already spoken extensively on starting early. And was, my goodness, I think I have a LinkedIn series on rejecting rejection. Something that you need to become an expert at doing. You just need to be an expert at rejecting rejections. So I'll write an email back and say, I reject this, your rejection. Like, no, yeah, I mean, because to think, I would write an email for my own sanity and say it's a lie. Especially once I got that word that he has gone ahead of me to make the crooked path straight. And I was documenting my journey. Every time I got an email, I would set the camera, get the mic and all of that. Then I'll open it. This Spanish one was the funniest, because I was so invested in going. I didn't want to go to Spain, but I loved these professors. I loved their heart. I loved their enthusiasm. I could see that if they were doing so much to get me on board, how much more would they do if I had issues with my PhD and all of that? And so I remember the day that rejection letter came. So it was in Spanish. They wrote it in Spanish. I didn't know. I thought, oh my goodness, I've got this scholarship. Then I was waiting for Google Translate to load. So it was loading and loading, and then it was a no. But so it's a couple of no's, quite a lot of no's. And with those no's are the determining factor between whether you would quit or whether you would apply again. You need to just tell yourself, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to last. It's going to back down, and it is not me. I'm knocking on those doors until it opens. Last, if I don't live here, the doors will open. So that was the mindset I had, and especially because I knew what God had said to me in that year. However, at some point I had to go back. I spoke with people and I said, this thing is really choking. Like, I can't believe I'm having so many rejections. Is there something I'm not doing well? Is there something? And one of the most beautiful words I've had is just rest. And I hope, something that you are dealing with, you've had so many no's. Maybe that LinkedIn series will help you, but I will not go into that. I won't go into that because of our time. Okay, so what next? Have you done all of those applications, gotten all the no's, and then gotten the final yes? The final yes. What next is actually doing the PhD itself, which is the phase that I am at, at this point. And it forces you to realize I really don't know much. You think doing the PhD, you start out thinking you know really, but it just forces you to know that, man, I don't know much. And it's good when you have a supportive supervisory team. It's good when you have the who, working with you. The who on your journey will not necessarily be just your supervisors. It would be friends. It would be peers, it would be colleagues, it would be, like Sole said, those that have gone ahead of you. It would be those that are working, vertically with you at the same pace. And it would be members, it would be, people supporting you, people telling you, I believe in you. But most of all, for me, it has been God. It has been God every 2 a.m. when I'm reading some academic theories. I'm like, this thing doesn't make sense. Like, I feel like stoning the author of this paper. Like, why didn't you just say something simple? At those moments where everything feels like, what am I doing? I don't understand what I'm doing. I mean, God has always come true for me, like always come true for me, always come true for me. And that's been my scholarship story, to be honest. My PhD scholarship story, which is still loading. Other part I could have gone into, like the what a scholarship does for you, the opportunities, like traveling all around the world, which was one of the things I enjoyed during my master's, because the children were not here. So from one continent to another, doing conferences, and you would have all of those opportunities. I think one of the most important thing I want to leave you with is your why. Why are you doing this in the first place? You just have to be true to yourself. Why? Why do you want to do this? Really? Why? Why do you want to do this? If it's to make money, I'm not sure this is the best place. If it's to travel around the world and give speeches, perhaps, probably, because when the work, when the enormosity of the work stares you in the face, your why has to be strong enough. And for me, I know who has called me into this space, and he's the one doing the sponsorship. He's the one doing the backing. So your why, really important. The who's working with you on this journey, who's helping you, who's giving you truth, who's telling you this thing you wrote is rubbish, who's telling you this, who's giving you real truth, not pampering you, who's listening and judging, because that we listen, we don't judge. It doesn't apply here. Who's listening to you and judging and telling you this thing you're doing is not making sense, and who's giving you that encouragement. And then the when, up to you, not up to you. To you now, the what next, your questions. Why are you not yet doing a PhD? So I think I'm going to take a break there, and really, if there are any questions, I'm going to take them.
Okay, thank you so much, Deborah. Yeah, this is very practical, a very practical session, sharing your application journey for those who really want to know. I think we got a couple of questions for people who want to apply for PhD. From experience, someone who have been searching for scholarship, I'm looking at what is how the PhD scholarship is very tricky. PhD application itself is very tricky. If you are not ready, if you know that your head is not ready for a book, for me, I know I will do a PhD sometime later, but not now. I'm not mentally ready for PhD. I'm like, I beg, I'm not ready, because you need to be in a good state to even think about, okay, I want to go through this journey for the next 3-4 years. So I really appreciate that part of you sharing your experience and your thoughts. But anyone here who have any particular question for Abigail? You have a question? Please, can you unmute Abigail?
Sorry if you can hear me noise, but I'm currently working. I'm on an errand, so I have to ask this question on my way. So basically, I'm not a PhD. I'm not a PhD for a scholarship. I'm an undergraduate. So my question basically for her is, okay, you spoke about applying on time. All of it should come in the process of whereby it's just like you saw it. Like I usually find my scholarship or ScholarWaka website, and I come and I see it's just like 3 to 4 weeks before the deadline. So can I still apply even though I basically have no idea of how to go about it? I'm scared, I'm suggested of it. Do I need to apply, or I just need to gain experience by applying to it, or how am I going about it? So is it okay if I apply even though it's just 3 weeks to the deadline, or I just want
to it's a mindset. First of all, starting early is you deciding this is what I want to do and starting to get your things together. Sometimes you might find the scholarship. I'm not a last minute person, in Jesus' name, amen, but I leave things far too late. because I've been applying before, because I've been preparing before, when an opportunity shows up, I'm able to take more advantage of it. So what we say, start early. Not that you are not finding any scholarship coming up. Do you have essays? Do you have drafts? Because there's a difference between, you might see something ending in 3 weeks, and because you've written things before, you can just repurpose it to apply. But if you're starting from the scratch, it's most likely that you will write rubbish. And it's absolutely fine. If you write rubbish, I mean, it's absolutely fine to go for it, because you might get feedback that will help you. So nothing stops you from not applying at all. Because if you don't apply, you might never know. But if you give yourself some time to start gathering, all the materials you're going to need, start writing your essays. Some of these scholarships, they open at the same time every year. There are some scholarships that open almost the same time. If you're going to apply for Commonwealth Shared, it's going to be between this and that. So you don't need to wait till then. Start looking at the schools. What that thing does for you is that it paces you. If you're like me and Lucy that has 1,000,001 things that we are juggling, you need to start gathering yourself. Like, we do the work in bits and in batches, because you might not have all the time. It might be that time you are targeting to apply, something will now come up and disrupt you. But starting early means starting now. Now that you know next year or in April, this scholarship will open, get your stuff ready. And but ultimately apply. The other danger of the other extreme are people that keep refining and never apply. No matter how perfect your scholarship is, if you don't send it, you will never get the scholarship. So don't wait for perfect. Don't let perfection be the thief or the enemy of getting it done. Just apply ultimately.
All right, thanks so much.
Yeah, I totally agree with Deborah. So yeah, like she already said, just note the ones that you have seen and you feel like I am not too prepared or I don't have my documents ready. Just take note of them, and this same time next year, if at all you haven't gotten anything, it will open again that time. So that's the idea about you preparing on time. If you know when it will be open, and you'll be able to do that. So we'll take the last question for today before we call it a day. We are already like 30 minutes past the time that we really want to end the conversation. So please, can you please unmute Melly? Yeah, the last question we're going to have for today. So guys, you can come on and drop your question in the comments, or tomorrow we can take the other questions that you have for us.
Hello.
Hi, Melly.
Yeah, my question is not about PhD, but it's about reference letters or references.
Okay.
Now, is it okay or is it good for you to use maybe 1 or 2 reference that you have used before in other application to apply again for other scholarship? For instance, I'm using a reference from Commonwealth Scholarship. Now, can I use that same reference, for example, for Chevening or for other scholarship application? Is it okay or is it right? Because sometimes getting these references from lecturers is not always easy. Like, it takes time. So is it okay for me to use something like that?
Fantastic question. For somebody like me that applied to 15 different universities and all of them would request references, it's something I had to grapple with. One thing I would say, and this will help you, PhD or not, is to develop working relationships with people. Build relationship before you need them. Especially if you're going to need people to refer you at one point or the other. I was really blessed to have my academic mentor that wrote. Sometimes I would have a scholarship I just saw. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. This is very, very last minute, but it's absolutely fine if you are not able to. And usually they would show up. Differences is in terms of your specific question. Yes, you can use them if they were not written with a particular scholarship in mind. So, for instance, your reference letter already says, I'm writing to refer so person for the Commonwealth Scholarship, and then you take that same letter and apply to Chevening, it's already a disqualification, so to speak. It might not be, but that doesn't speak well. It shows that you didn't do the work necessary to get a custom letter. One way around that is to ask your referees to write a generic letter that can be used for any application. That way, that would usually be a to whom it may concern letter. I had that when I was applying from my undergraduate to get a master's scholarship. So that would work. If it is a to whom it may concern, said, the reference letter I'm bringing is from 2 years ago. That is also a red flag. It means that you've not yet put in the work. So but otherwise, if you did this application cycle, the same time frame, you can use this. You can reuse reference letters. One last point about reference letters. Scholarships in my undergraduate days. To get a master's. And at some point, a reference letter is not necessarily the head of department. Your HOD may not be the one to write the best reference letter for you. See a graduate assistant lecturer that has access to letterhead paper and will be able to write you a brilliant letter. So don't for the VC or the president of your university. Yes, if you had to get those people, because I had a working relationship with most of those. If you to get those people, fantastic. What matters most is the content of the reference letter. What are they saying about you? You have 100 million people applying from all over the world. How are your referees able to tell your story? How are they able to position you? Why I'm saying this is because one time my HOD wrote a reference letter for me, and he said, this is to so person, this student, Debbie, has asked me to write a reference letter, and I'm happy to do that. She graduated from this university with a first class. She did this and this, that. I'm sure that she'll be a good candidate. I saw the reference letter. I wept, I cried, I crowed. If there's any other way to describe the sorrow, is what to me like one paragraph, write a whole book. There's a lot you can say about me, like give me a fighting chance. And truly, when I showed the reference letter to one of my academic mentors back then in Nigeria, she's like, no, that's not right. Don't worry, use me. She was in my department. She has never taught me, but she was in the faculty. She didn't teach me at any point in time, but she was in faculty and she was very familiar with my result. So what was happening for this, for the Commonwealth scholarship that I eventually got, she told me, send me the scholarship, the eligibility criteria. Send it to me. Send me your CV. All that you have done. What she then did was she wrote a reference letter that spoke to every point on. So the eligibility said they're looking for somebody that is a national figure. She looked at my CV, looked at what I've done nationally, and positioned it and said, oh, this person is really smart. She has been an asset to the Nigerian nation. She was a student, but she didn't stop at student. She went forward to say, oh, beyond being a student, she was so good. And one of my referees used to say, for all the students I've taught in the last 30 years, this person is the top 1%. See the reference letter. Proud of yourself, so beyond who writes the reference letter, it is the content. And you also, it's also helpful to be proactive. Depending on who you are asking to write, sometimes they may tell you, bring a draft. You use the opportunity to write something nice. Don't ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT is good, but it doesn't know you. And it will write the same thing for you that it has written for the last 100,000 people that were applying for the same scholarship. So do the work, tell your story well. So let's spoke about that. Tell your story well. Give your referees talking points. They don't know everything you've done. They might only know your class score, what you scored in. They don't know that, oh, you're this big person in your community. You served they don't know all of that. So you present yourself, tell your story. Also offer them that, oh, I can write a first draft if it is okay, but make sure that whoever you're asking to write a reference for you, somebody that you have a working relationship with. So if it is somebody you have a rapport with, fantastic. You can really tell them that this scholarship is important, this is what they're asking for, blah, 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 and all of that. So I hope that was helpful.
Yeah, you said everything I would have wanted to add. So there's nothing more to add to that. What I will always say is that your reference letter is one of the most critical parts of your application, because you have said your own. Somebody else should come and testify or confirm that you are what you are. So it's very crucial. But then, that's what I can say. Very good point, Deborah. Very good point. So thank you so much, Deborah, for your time. This is really, really helpful. Thank you so much. I believe everyone here must have picked, even if they are not PhD applicants, but they have picked questions or ideas from how they can approach their applications and submit good applications as well. So really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. So guys, that is it for today. It was a long, beautiful day. Our first formal one-to-one chat, one-to-one call. I hope it was really helpful, and we'll be back here tomorrow, same time. We will try to, keep to time tomorrow. But of course, we had too many good things to share with you guys, so there was no way we could just not say so much that would help you for what you need to do or how you're applying for your program. So tomorrow I will talk more about strategies and how you can approach your applications. And some of the questions that you have asked today, I will talk about them in tomorrow's session. So same time tomorrow, guys. Same time, 4 p.m. WAT. We'll be back here again. And thank you all so much. You want to come along as well with your friends tomorrow. And yeah, we just hope that it's gonna be worth your time with us at ScholarWaka. All right, thank you all so much and have a beautiful evening. Thank you so much, Deborah. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. Okay, then everyone, bye. Yeah.
Can we all wait for a quick snap or screenshot so that we can? Can we all turn out if possible?
So that means you have to take down your presentations if you want the screenshots. Yeah, many people have gone. So yeah, but we can do a screenshot. Maybe you would have done it earlier. Can you stop sharing so that we can take a better screenshot if you want to? Can you see it all? Yeah. Okay. Tell us when you want us to smile, though.
Yes, we can. Yes, I think.
All right. Thank you all so much for your time. And please come ready with your questions tomorrow. We have more time for questions tomorrow. Just come ready with your questions. And yeah, see you all tomorrow. Bye.